Well, hello there again, everybody. This is today's Big Pauly video blog. It's 13th of March, 2012. Good to be talking to you once again. Hope you enjoyed that little bust I made on these people that keep calling me from Maine, thinking that I'm a business owner and wanting me to buy some Google shit. Here's the thing about these people, okay? And I have done 3 or 4 blogs about this. Feel like I have made these people, real special. Remember the Star Trek episode "Bread Circus," where the gladiator refuses to go along with the fight, and one of the bosses whips him and says, "Don't make any trouble, or we'll do a special on you." That was in "Bread and Circuses," a Star Trek episode, 2nd season, where Kirk, Spock, and the crew go down and they find a planet that's like ancient Rome. Except it's ancient Rome in the modern era, and they're doing televised gladiator fights and all that. But anyway, you have a choice when this 207 number calls you. And just for the record, let me just check my BlackBerry real fast because I don't have any other reference. 207-571-8672. That's 207-571-8672. Getting a lot of free publicity from me. Anyway, they call up and then you say, well, dial 1 to be put on a do not call list. Well, this is a fallacy because, number 1, I am already on the FCC do not call list. Number 2, I get placed on the do not call list, and a few weeks later you're calling me back. So either way you look at it, you're screwed. And that bitch, Melissa, who called up and said, well, we're just going to keep calling. I hope you do keep calling me, lady. I hope you do keep calling me, because every time you do, I'm going to just pick up my BlackBerry, put it on speakerphone, and I promise you I will keep putting these on YouTube. That is, if I'm here at the house. So anyway, I didn't mean to get all bent out of shape over this, but, these people are obviously bullshitting me. And, and then it has to be put to it, as the fat guy said in Casino. Have you been seeing what's been going on with this Peyton Manning, Tim Tebow drama in Denver, and old John Elway sticking the knife in Tim Tebow's back, going after Peyton Manning? You got a winner with Tebow, a guy who is a proven winner. Yes, he's not the most accurate passer. He gets things done other ways than using his arm. He uses his leg. And, Denver really didn't know what to do with the guy last season. The Broncos, I think they used a wishbone formation at one point because Tebow's a good running quarterback, and he was a good running quarterback at Florida. That usually doesn't translate well in the National Football League. Dun, 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 dun. But, Elway is really playing fast and loose with Timmy Tebow, so to speak, and his career, too. And Tebow is probably going to wind up going to another NFL team if Peyton Manning is signed. And Peyton Manning has been one of the best NFL quarterbacks ever, but he's had problems with his neck, and a lot of people say he can't throw the long ball anymore. Oh, and I just wonder what will happen if Denver goes with Manning and abandons Tebow, and Manning gets injured very, very quickly into his Denver Broncos career, so to speak, and the team too. We got a lot of interesting things in the news going on. I don't want to always be topics, because as the late great Neil Rogers said, topics are a bunch of crap. You got this Kim.com, who is in charge of Mega Upload. I just can't talk today. What the fuck's wrong with me? Anyway, U.S. government officials, he says, also held accounts with Mega Upload. And it says, I hope we will soon have permission to give them and the rest of our users access to their files. Mega Upload is one of these sites people use to exchange files. It's not like torrents as such, but you could put up a file and other people can download it to their computers. Now, is file sharing wrong? I'm kind of ambivalent on that. Why should it be the fault of the people who use computers that a technology exists that makes selling and purchasing movies and music and books and video games and computer programs obsolete? Why is it fault that something comes along? Why is it our fault as the consumers that something comes along that makes it obsolete? And I think it's just sour grapes on these record companies and video companies and book companies and all these companies that make the video games like Civilization, which is the one I have, and the one I'm into now, which is Star Trek Online, which is free to play. But what they do is, if you want points and if you want to have uniforms or ships or whatever, you have to pay a certain amount of money to get cryptic points, and with the cryptic points you could buy, like if you want your character in Star Trek Online to wear the Star Trek original series, what they call the TOS. I'm talking a lot of Star Trek today. Good heavens! You want them to wear the gold tunics and the blue tunics and the red tunics, like Kirk and Spock and Scotty had. Met Scotty once. His real name James Doohan, late Jimmy Doohan. I met him at Universal Studios in 1991. Very nice man. He always made. He was doing this little. He did like little surprise where he took questions, and he always made good eye contact with me. I guess he kind of took a shine to me. He didn't know me from Adam, of course, but not that way, Jimmy. I'm not that Jay. I'm not that way. I'm a straight man. I'm a straight man. Even if I did listen to Neil Rogers, I'm a straight guy, and I don't think being gay is a requirement to listen to Neil Rogers. Just like with all this Rush Limbaugh thing, hullabaloo going on, where he called this woman a slut. Why does being a slut mean you have to be a Democrat? Aren't there sluts that are Republicans or Ingram? But I digress. Yeah, Laura Ingraham. Look at her little track record with men. Keith Olbermann and Lindsey Graham, and I think she adopted a few children. Oh, anyway. Baseball season coming up. We got the Rays starting their season April 6th. Tomorrow night we have USF basketball. They play their first NCAA tournament game in 20 years in Dayton, Ohio against the Golden Bears of California. That should be interesting. To my knowledge, just off the top of my head, I did not look this up before I started this blog entry today. I do not believe the USF Bulls have ever won a NCAA basketball tournament game. And they started in the mid-70s as a basketball team, and they would play schools. They used to be in the Metro Conference, and they would play schools that were in big cities but weren't necessarily big schools. Like they would play Jacksonville or UNC Charlotte or New Orleans. There were a whole bunch of these cities in the South that they would play back in the 70s. And if you look on YouTube, there is this video of the opening of a game between Tampa University's Division II, the USF Bulls, and the Charlotte 49ers, the UNC Charlotte 49ers, with Jim Thacker. This was a broadcast going back to Charlotte. Jim Thacker, who was like the voice of the ACC back then, did the Masters on CBS and did some NFL football games, some lower run games. And he had this nice little Southern style of talking, but he was a very efficient announcer. One of my favorites from that era. I think Jim has long since retired and hasn't really done anything for several years. I believe he is still alive. I am not sure. And see what else I can give you as a final thought. I am not seeing anything. Sometimes my computer is a little slow. Oh, Afghans. I forgot to talk about this. The whole thing with Afghanistan and the United States soldier that just went absolutely batshit and killed 16 Afghanistan civilians, including 9 children, 3 or 4 women. Isn't it a sign we better get out of there? Don't get me wrong, I support the troops, but I think the best support we could give the troops is to give them the best possible advice as to what to do. And I think staying in these Middle Eastern countries like Iraq and Afghanistan isn't the best way to go eventually, because Osama bin Laden is dead and Saddam Hussein is dead. And, what are we staying over there for? To create more villains? It just doesn't make sense. Well, this has been today's Big Pauly video blog, coming to you on this 13th day of March as I record this, almost live. It'll be about 40-50 minutes in the future if you just happen to see it as I process it on Sony Vegas. I am Paul Blom here in Pinellas Park, Florida. There he goes, scratching his head again. And I will catch you all again real soon. Bye-bye for now.